How do I begin to explain what I'm feeling? I'm not even sure that it makes sense to me. But here we are again at the same point of contention. I never dreamed there'd be days when it hurts so much to love. Oh, hurts so much to love you back. Oh, but it costs this much to love. Wonder if you'll get it back. Oh, if I want you and you want me, tell me why can't we agree? Maybe it takes more than
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? It's great to see you out there. I am Dr. Helen, your host of Where You Are, the Accelerated Healing Detox Bootcamp, as well as the host of the Faith Building Bootcamp, which is at 6 o'clock every morning on Central Time, and here at 8 o'clock a.m. every morning Central Time. We are on day 11. Can you believe it? Day 11. I know so many people are excited because now you can have some smoothies with some fiber in there. You're getting closer to chewing. I know, I see it out there. So I don't know where you're coming from. If you're joining us from day 1, or if you're joining us from day 2, or if you're joining us from day 11, but wherever you're coming from, if you're day 1, welcome. If you're day 2, welcome back. And if you're day 11, look at you because you're still here. We are so excited to see you out there. People are working, and they're trudging along, and they're making sure that they're getting their juices in. They've done all their juicing. Now they're ready for the smoothies. There are some people that are not quite on the smoothies yet, and that is completely fine. You will just continue along with us as you are able to. And all of the presentations, all of the lives are available on YouTube, so you can go back and look at any of those videos on YouTube. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so we can get the information out to more people. But it is wonderful. Somebody said they have their smoothie. Here is my smoothie. I put it in a mason jar, and I will drink this entire thing. I had to make one for my husband and my daughter as well, so they are going to enjoy theirs. It is cloudy here. There's rain here. I don't know where you are, but there is still sunshine in my heart, even though it's cloudy outside. Sometimes there may be some issue with the internet. If it goes out, I'll come right back and we will enjoy people are drinking their smoothies, probably because they're so excited. People are getting up earlier than they normally would so they can drink a smoothie. Isn't that pretty fantastic? I love it. All right, down to announcements. We are again at day 11. Be sure that you drink your water before you drink your smoothies, and then drink a water after each smoothie. You'll be drinking 32 ounces. Here's what I want you to do. Here's some tips. Your greens, I want you to pack them in the bottom. Just pack them down in there, and start with your greens in your high-speed blender or whatever blender you have, and then put in your frozen fruit and vegetables, and then the soft, the more difficult things to grind more at the top. That means that the blades will start getting going, because the greens are easier to break down than some of the other foods, and so it won't clog up your blender, and you'll be able to blend it a lot easier and a lot smoother. So make sure you pack the greens down at the bottom. I also want you to know that we're going to alternate our greens, right? We're going to do different greens for different parts of it, because if you do too many greens, you can get some numbness and tingling in your fingers and toes. And so we'll alternate our greens. The other thing is that after you make your smoothie, put the seeds in. Don't blend your seeds in the smoothie unless you don't want to drink it. If you want to spoon it, you can blend your seeds in while you're drinking it, while you're making it. But if you want to drink it, you want to put your seeds in after you blend it, because these are thickening agents. That's why you can use them as egg replacers, because they thicken whatever substance they are in. So if you want to drink it, put your seeds in after you've blended it up, and then just stir them around. Ashwagandha, you'll notice, is in your healing berry, anti-aging berry blast. and some other smoothies, you'll notice the ashwagandha is what is called an adaptogen. And adaptogens are what helps the adrenal glands to recover. And we'll talk about the adrenal glands, but for right now, just know that it has a calming effect and a relaxing effect, just to kind of maintain what's called homeostasis, which is just an even kind of thing that's happening. I got a comment today about someone who's interested in doing a detox, and she said, but I'm skinny and I would lose weight. I said, skinny people need to detox too, but we have ways of making sure that you don't lose weight. Most people want to drop a few pounds, but if you are already pretty small or your ideal weight, then we have some ways to keep you from losing too many pounds. You will lose some because you are getting rid of toxins, but you will be able to maintain your weight should you choose to. I was one who wasn't trying to maintain my weight. I was trying to get rid of some of the pounds, and I know many of you are there with me. So ashwagandha is definitely something to use to just calm the system down and to keep you into a homeostatic position. Now, the getting to bed by 10 p.m., we are again addressing our adrenal glands, because your adrenal glands get its best rest between 10 and midnight. I don't know if you know that your organs tend to have recovery when you sleep. And so your adrenal glands tend to recover anywhere from 10 to midnight. So you want to be in the bed between 10 and midnight, because that is where your best sleep will be. And you will notice that if you get in bed at 10, anywhere 10 to midnight, then you will, don't make me laugh, I see you going to bed at 8 o'clock, and that's even better. But the getting into the bed at 10 o'clock, you'll notice that if you stayed up and went to bed at 2, you'll be more tired than if you went to sleep from 10 to midnight and just got 2 hours and woke up at 2 and did what you needed to do. So there is something to be said about getting those adrenals to get their rest. And so we want to do that. You will feel more refreshed in the morning if you get in the bed by 10 p.m. So I start winding down when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Start winding down around 9-ish so that I can get into the bed. One of the tips that I give to my patients is I'll have them get into a hot tub of water with some magnesium salts and some lavender and lie down in the tub and just relax in your 9 o'clock hour, somewhere around in there, just to start relaxing. You'll probably feel like a wet noodle when you get out of it. And then you will go and prepare yourself for bed, put a drop of lavender on your pillow. You will see the sleeping smoothies, give it a rest smoothie that we'll be drinking tonight, and then the bedtime smoothie that comes at day 16. So those are all things that we're giving to kind of get you in a more relaxed mood, because on this part of the detox, we're starting to work on our adrenals and relaxation and getting better sleep and a deeper sleep. So I know that many people are interested in sleeping, because that's how you maintain your youthful appearance. It slows down the aging process. A lack of sleep actually increases your aging. So we want to make sure we do that. Incidentally, you want to get at least 6 hours of sleep at night, because you kind of lower your lifespan anytime you get sleep less than 6 hours. So we want to maximize our sleep and maximize our rest and maximize our relaxation. And if any of you had an opportunity to see Secrets of the Blue Zones, we're only watching Okinawa now. We're going to just do Okinawa, so you have the whole week to be able to look at that. But Secrets of the Blue Zones, you will look at Okinawa. And I noticed on that segment that in Okinawa, they actually get up from low surfaces, and though the people in Okinawa, Japan, are living to 100 and greater, and they're living with lower body strength. Can you believe lower body strength? They're not falling. It is an unusual thing for one of their centenarians to fall. And so, look at my throat dry. And so you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to get in there and see that and get in there and get to bed by 10 p.m. We also can actually start instituting more strenuous exercises now because your body has now become acclimated. You're adding some more fiber and some more calories in there to burn. So then some squats is actually a good thing now. You can continue to walk, continue to stretch. You want to do that every day. Continue to stretch, continue to get your walking in, and make sure you're taking deep breaths in and letting it out. That's one of the ways your body detoxes carbon dioxide, by breathing off that. So breathe deeply and let it out so that you can get adequate rest. Interval 2, if you haven't gotten it yet, is available. It is in your email. You can get either Interval 2 meal plans, recipes, and shopping list, or you can get the entire bundle that has all 1 through 4 along with your produce shopping guides and your timeline. It's all in the bundle, which is more cost effective if you do it that way. Continue with your gut repair and your probiotics for now. And your smoothies will be 32 ounces, 32 ounces, 32 ounces for a total of 96 ounces a day. And then water in between is about 32 ounces a day, because that water is going to be flushing out the toxins, if you will. Now, if you plan to participate in the TikTok or the social media video, then I do need your videos. I need 2. One, if you're in the Faith Building Bootcamp, I'm building my faith. So it'll go kind of like this. I'm building my faith. Of course, I'm da 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 da. Or we can replace that. I am detoxing. Of course, I am da 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 da. Whatever you choose to say. We do need those videos to be sent to media@p2whealth.com. And we'd love to have them before 12 noon today so we can get working on those social media campaigns. My disclaimer is I am a physician. I am a board certified physician, but I am not yours. That means that this is not a doctor-patient relationship. The information that I provide for you is for educational purposes only. You are not to say, well, the doctor told me to do something. Nope, nope, I'm not your doctor. I'm giving you education. This does not replace the sound advice of your primary care provider. It does not replace that. So you want to make sure that you are in connection with your primary provider, and you want to make sure that they are watching your medications, particularly if you're on some particular medications. You want to make sure that you watch those, because this is a very powerful tool to lower your blood pressure and to lower your blood sugar and your cholesterol, by the way, and to decrease the inflammation so that your pain is better, and all those wonderful things that we are looking for when we are detoxing. Clarity, better vision, all kinds of things are happening right now, but I'm not your doctor. So make sure you talk to your doctor about them. Now we're going to continue with hidden figures. Hidden figures. These are things that damage your health. Excuse me. Things that damage your health. So we are getting started on those hidden figures. How many of you know that there's always something behind something that's happening in the front? There's always something behind it. So there is a reason that there's so many diseases. There's a reason that there's so much cancer. There's a reason that people aren't feeling good. There's a reason that there's so much depression. There's a reason that there's so much anxiety. And our goal is to find those hidden figures, attack them, get them out so we can move on. All right. So what is this? I want you to put in the chat if you know what this is. The picture in the background. Do you have any idea what that is? Put it in the chat for me. What is this? What is this? What is that stuff behind that? What is that? Anybody? Any guesses? Any guesses? No answer is a bad answer. It might be a wrong answer, but it's not a bad one. Yes, there you go. It is aluminum foil. Aluminum foil. So here's what you're going to know, what you can expect to know before you finish today. You are going to know what another hidden figure is. You're going to know what it is. We've already identified aluminum. You're going to know what it is. You're going to know how we get it in our mouths, how we get it in our bodies, how we cook with it, and how we breathe it. So we are going to get started right now. Aluminum is the most abundant metal. in the Earth's crust, you're going to see, if you were able to investigate the Earth's crust, aluminum is the most prominent metal in the Earth's crust. It's also found in the soil and the water. So it is not something, and it's in the air. So it's not something that is not ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Small amounts of aluminum can be found dissolved in your water. Now, aluminum can be ingested, absorbed through the skin, or it can be inhaled. And the average adult will consume about 7 to 9 milligrams of aluminum in their daily food every day. And you've seen the going to a carry out and they give you your food and it's in these types of containers. Exposure to high levels of aluminum may result in respiratory issues and neurological problems. And that's according to CDC on their fact sheet. Where is this aluminum found in our day-to-day living? Yeah, we know that there are particles in the air. We know that there are some in the water, but what are some of the other places that we find the aluminum? This is what we put in our mouths. So water treatment facilities are using, excuse me, water treatment facilities are using aluminum in their treatment processes. So these are things that you will find in the water supply. And because they're in the water supply, then you will find them in your water. Another place that you will find the aluminum is in the drinking water, because they're doing this in the plants. The EPA has actually said they've given a secondary maximum level of contaminant for aluminum, and they rated about 0.05 to 0.2 milligrams that you can have, parts per million in that drink. And we talked about the average American gets about 7 to 9 milligrams. That's a lot of aluminum. And so when we're talking about other places that we get aluminum, you start to figure out, wow, this is what's contributing to that high amount of aluminum that we are exposed to every day. So soda cans are made from aluminum. Soda cans, aluminum foil obviously is made from aluminum. And how many times have you gone to a potluck or you've done it yourself and you made something in an aluminum pan and you take the top of it off and you see that it's brown on the top of the aluminum. And then you see condensation. So there's water that leaks down into the food from that. That aluminum has been oxidized. And so when that condensation starts, it's pulling aluminum from the aluminum foil and into your food. So a very good source of having aluminum. We also find it in antacids. And there are a lot of people, because of poor food combining or poor combinations of food, that will be using antacids on a regular basis. And there are purple pills and there's pink pills and there's white pills and there are all kinds of pills that you are using as antacids, but those antacids will typically have aluminum in them. Their medications will also have aluminum. Buffered aspirin will also have aluminum in them. Where else will you find aluminum? You will find it in cake mixes, flour, self-rising flour, bleached flour, baking powder, anti-caking agents, table salt, some of your pre-made donuts and waffles, vanilla powders, and food additives, and even in coloring agents. And let us not forget, like the mixes that you might use that you think is very innocent. You're using these mixes, and because it's easy. You're using maybe a prepared dough because it's easy, but it comes at a cost. And so when we talk about focusing not on processed foods, but on foods that you tend to make yourself, it becomes more important because now you know what's going on in the food. And people will say, I don't have time to do that. But what I admonish you to do is to prioritize yourself, because getting convenience can damage your health. So all things that are expedient are not good. So it is important to prioritize yourself, because I do find that people find time to do whatever they want to do, whatever their priorities are, they will do it. And so I have decided for me and my family that I am prioritizing our health. So I tend to cook things from scratch. If not scratch, I know ways to minimize the time I have. I want to make sure I have the right tools, but there are so many different ways that you can cut the amount of time out that you spend in the kitchen. And stick, we'll talk about all kinds of things throughout the year to give you tips and tools that will allow you and help you to spend less time in the kitchen, but still get what you need for your health, because we don't want to compromise our health for convenience. Now, it is found in American processed cheese. There is aluminum in your grilled cheese sandwich. Okay. And so there is aluminum. And in addition, it's found in some pickles as well. There are also, this one always breaks my heart when I think about the fact that there is aluminum in infant formulas, which is why I nursed my children. There is aluminum in your dental amalgams, nasal sprays, your toothpaste. There is aluminum in them. And as if you needed another reason to not smoke, there's aluminum in cigarette filters. There's also 70,000 toxins in each cigarette that you smoke, or that a person smokes. And what's really sad is that that secondhand smoke is more dangerous than the person smoking it. So if you are around someone that smokes, just excuse yourself, because you are getting more of the toxins than they do. Now, how do we get the toxins in our bodies? Well, we can get the toxins in our bodies, through cosmetics. And I am a proponent of clean cosmetics. So I use cosmetics. I put lotion on. I use astringents and all, but I'm looking for clean brands when I am using these things. There is also aluminum in vaccinations. There's also mercury in vaccinations, but we're not talking about that today. But what about the things that we cook with? So there are things that we cook with that are things like aluminum utensils, the cookware, right? So there might be a measuring spoon that's aluminum, or there's a spatula that's aluminum, or there's a pot or a pan that's aluminum. Aluminum is, I understand why people purchase them. They're more economical, but I always tell people you're going to pay one way or the other. You're going to pay upfront in the cost of what you're purchasing, or you're going to pay on the back end with your health and an increased cost, because now you're subjecting yourself to lifelong use of medications and surgeries and all those different kinds of things. So it is definitely cheaper to pay for it upfront. And, resources like these discount stores, you can actually go in and get really inexpensive pots and pans. And they're often discount stores where they're selling like rejected items. And sometimes some of the higher brands of stainless steel pots and pans will get rid of their things because the packaging was not right, or because they'll get rid of the whole box because a pan was missing, or they'll get rid of it because there's a nick in the pan. And then you get to go to that discount store and purchase it at a fraction of the cost, probably cheaper than you can get the aluminum pans for, because there was a defect in the purchasing process. Because if you're going to spend that kind of money for pots and pans, then your box has to be perfect. There can't be a nick on it. There can't be a piece, a top missing. There can't be a screw missing. But how many of you know, like, if you need to just screw it in yourself, you can still purchase them at a fraction of the cost of what they are normally sold for. So I am definitely on the lookout for that. I can tell you how many pots and pans that I've gotten on a discount because I used that same tip. Now, what we breathe is also a way that aluminum gets into us. because aluminum can't be destroyed. It can only change its form. And so it's just, these particles are just in the air, and they can be suspended in the air for extended periods of time, especially when you are working at like an aluminum mine, because these aluminum mines are in all kinds of places, and workers who breathe in large amounts of the aluminum dust can have lung problems like coughing and abnormal chest x-rays. Some workers are breathing in this aluminum. The people that work around these plants are breathing in the aluminum. And so you know that if you are breathing the aluminum on the inside and there's an exhaust that goes to the outside, windows that are on the outside, that means it's going out into the atmosphere. So that if you live around a place where they are manufacturing the aluminum, then it's going to be in more dense in the area that you live in. There are other areas that this happens in. Africa, there are aluminum plants in Africa, France, Suriname, and Jamaica. But even locally in the US, they are in Alabama, they're in Georgia, and they're in Arkansas. So you know that you are breathing in those different fumes. Now, I have particularly been in the mode of trying to make these presentations a little shorter. And so we are going to put a pin in it right here and tell you what you should have learned so far. You should have learned that aluminum is another hidden figure. You know now what aluminum is. You know how you get it in your mouth. You know how we get it on our bodies or in our bodies, and how we are exposed to it in cooking. And then you learned how we're breathing it in. I am going to take some time and answer questions, because we are going to really delve in tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central Time, other things that you will find aluminum in. And we got what you will find then is what it is, what other things they're found in, and you're going to find how it affects your health. And you're going to find out how it affects something that's even more important that we're dealing with today on a regular basis. So you will have to tune in tomorrow to get that information, because not only will you get that, but we're going to teach you how to avoid it and how to get it out of your system. So that will be tomorrow. Are there any questions? I bought a set of stainless steel pots for $4.99 over 50 years ago, which was expensive at the time, and they look almost new. Yes, indeed, that is the case. I've purchased our stainless steel pots and pans about 25 years ago, and they are still there. I've purchased more since we've been here, so that was 2008. So they are still looking spectacular. So it lasts. And I know that I am not putting this aluminum in my body so that it goes to these different parts that we don't want it to go to. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? Any questions or comments? You can place them in the chat. Any questions or comments while you are doing that? I want to just also, we told you what's coming tomorrow, how it affects chronic diseases. We will talk about, does aluminum really cause Alzheimer's? You will have to tune in tomorrow to find the answer to that question. You will tune in tomorrow to find out the answer to that question. We got a lot in store for you tomorrow, and I can't wait to share them with you. I'm so glad you feel informed. That's our job here, is to make sure that the information is known. So today is day 11. We got it right. Smoothie day. Enjoy your healing anti-berry blast. We're having it for breakfast and for lunch. And then we're having our give it a rest smoothie at bedtime. Very excited to do that. Do they use the name aluminum in foods or a different name? You will have to tune in tomorrow, because you're getting ahead of me for that. You are so welcome. But suffice it to say, most often you'll see aluminum hydroxide, you'll see you'll see aluminum. They will typically show you. They would typically show you. So I'm sorry to tease you. Yes. So you will see aluminum on there. So today, if again by noon, we would love to have your video collection for our social media campaign. Our Faith Building Bootcamp will be again tomorrow Central Time right here at 6 a.m. And our Accelerated Healing Detox Bootcamp will continue with part 2 of this aluminum phenomenon, this aluminum pandemic. We will continue on with it tomorrow right here at 8 a.m. Central Time. The Reverse It book, How to Reverse Type 2 Diabetes and Other Chronic Illnesses, is available on Amazon along with its success journal. I would love a thumbs up on that one, or a positive review on the book if you have already purchased the book. Once you read the book, please leave me a positive review. Again, we want to make sure that other people can have the information and be able to make some transformations in their life, because these are pivotal opportunities to change your health, which will in turn change your life. Power pack, if you need a strong immune booster, of course you do, because of this kind of weather. I always like to have at least one power pack on hand, because if you feel a little tickle or something going on inside of you, I will take a pack and it goes completely away. If sometimes you will need to take all 3 days of the treatment, but other than that, you can probably, if you catch it early enough, just take one pack and it's gone. So I always like to have a pack on hand to help with respiratory illnesses. And I do like to use it early on instead of late, and then like, oh my goodness, I got to do something. You get so sick that you have to take the whole pack, and sometimes 2 packs if you have a really low immune system. So that is those are our announcements for today. I am happy to have another opportunity with people who are like-minded, who believe that their health is the new currency, and you have decided to spend it wisely. I have too. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.